up, guys? I'm gonna show you guys how to make a DEADMAU5 kind of Cthulhu type of little LFO Sylenth patch, which sounds like this by itself. Very easy to make. I'll show you the notes. I'm just using 2 notes, so it's just one note, very low note like an E1, and then I just have a second note that is 1 octave up, and that's really it. And all I'm using is a vinyl distortion inside of Ableton. If you don't have Ableton, you can use any distortion or brightener or even some bit crusher. Just, it's not too vital to the sound, but my theory here was to give you a very clean preset, because a lot of people always try to go for the dirtiest patches they can find, but I think what's more useful is finding really clean bass sounds and really clean patches, and then learning how to dirty them up with external distortions, like not necessarily the ones that are inside of the synthesizer. So to make something really dirty, you have to know how to make it really clean, is kind of the point I'm making. So anywho, I'll show you guys what I did here in Sylenth. So okay, so it's kind of a lot going on, so we'll get through it really quick. So first things first, go to menu, initialize your preset, make sure your voices is on 16. Our first oscillator is a saw, 8 voices, retrig is on, and our phase is at 180, and that's really it. So let's move on to oscillator 2. It's also a saw wave, 4 voices, retrig is on. We have it detuned to 6, and that's really it there. For our amp envelope, we're going to bring up our decay and sustain all the way and release around 4.58, or you can leave it all the way down. It's kind of your taste. And for our filter A, we're just going to select a low pass and bring it up to the 12 dB slope, so that way the slope is kind of more open, I guess. And let's see, our drive is at 1.667, our reso is at 2, and our cutoff is at 24 Hertz. And for our filter control, the cutoff is at 153, reso is at 0.81, and our key track is at 314. So I guess, okay, let's see. So I kind of covered everything here. So I guess what you should have, well, let's go over the distortion real quick. So you want a bit crusher. The amount will be at 614, and at the dry wet at 30%. EQ, I brought this up to 9 dB, boosted around 262. Treble is at 9 dB also, and boosted around 2368. And we have a little bit delay. So our left side is at 18D, our right is on 18, and our dry wet is at 23%. So right now you should have, and I would suggest you save your preset at this point, because I want you guys to be able to make your own patch from this. Oh, well, I forgot to show you the part B and LFO, but anyway, copy the LFO, so it's just cut off A and B, and this knob right here is at 7, around there, and the rate is at 1/8, and the gain is up all the way. So why you should save your preset at this point is because when I go into part B, I want you guys to be able to make this sound as dirty as you guys want, but I guys want you to have a clean copy of it. So this at this point is a clean copy. So that way you can add your own distortions and really dirty it up. Okay, anyway, so I'll unsolo this part A and show you part B. So part B is, first oscillator is down 2 octaves. It's a saw wave again, or it could be a square wave to fill in those gaps. So it could be a saw or a square, it's up to you. I'm gonna leave it on square because I just thought of filling in that gap. between the saws, and our detune is all the way up. It's at 10. Retrig is on, and that's that. And this is the same amp envelope from part A, so you can just click on this C here and paste it in. And let's see, our filter is a little different, but I'll get to that in a second. Let's go over this oscillator 2 here in part B. So this is down an octave on oscillator 2. This is a noise wave, one voice, retrig is on. And let's see, that is all. Okay, so our filter B is a low pass on 12 dB. Our drive is at 7.29. Our reso is all the way down, and cutoff is at 51 hertz. So now what you have is I suppose you can bring the volume up a little bit on oscillator 2 in part B. So bring it up to like 1.19. And don't worry about the red. If you don't like that clipping overdrive sound, then you can bring it down. I sort of think it's okay. It's not too major. And let's see. So now we have that. And the vinyl distortion is just gonna add some thump, some kind of like, it's just, I love this plugin. So I'll show you what I did. I just kind of brought it to around 1K, the frequency, and I brought it up to, let's see, where does it say? So like 0.41, and the drive is at like kind of halfway, so 5.3. And so this is really the sound. It's not very complicated. The sidechaining here is just very quick release, very quick attack and release sidechain on the FF1 model, and at the ratio of like around 2 to 3, and thresholds at -22. So let's dirty this sound up. Let's fuck this sound up now. So first thing we can do is play around with this. So if we want to make a more trancey type of sound, we can just take the LFO's wave instead of sine, but make it a saw. So where's my saw wave? Damn it, where is it? Here we go. So that's already a lot more trancey. And if we want to make it more dirty, we'll go overdrive and throw this amount up all the way. It's very much in the red, but I don't care. I'm gonna leave it there. We're gonna turn up this a little bit. So everything I'm doing right now is just fooling around. So if you're changing your synth as well, be aware that I did tell you guys that we were done, and that we're just fooling around with this sound right now. Okay, so we can bring this oscillator up a little bit and to make it more crunchy, and then put the phase at 180. And we can bring down the decay and make it kind of more snappy. So maybe I'll do that in part A too. Again, I'm just fooling around to show you guys some tricks on how to maybe, or some of the things you can do to change your sound and make it more crunchy and harsher and dirtier. Okay, so I tried to use the LFO on the pitch control of A and B, and that didn't sound too cool. So we're kind of done with this. Maybe we can play. Oh, key track is also something you can use to dirty up the sound, which is kind of just like keeping the cutoff. I think of it sort of, I know what key track does, but I think of it sort of as a dry wet to the filter cutoff. So this being what the cutoff would sound like, kind of open and fully closed, because if you hear the cutoff fully open, you can hear that it's like all the frequencies are open, and if I bring it all the way down, you can't hear it at all. So if I put it in the middle, kind of where I like it sometimes, and I bring the key track up, it's cutting off the frequencies, but still somehow, well, the key track is sort of, I'm not really good at explaining it, but I think of it as a dry wet, sort of, or inducing back a little bit of the original tone. So if you don't know what it does, and I'm not too good at explaining it, just kind of know that you can really change and dirty up a sound with it. And if you turn on warm drive, it makes it obviously a little warmer. And also you can, since oscillator 1 in part A is our main carrier, we can sort of just detune it, and that'll help us get a really nasty sound. So that's very trancey. So we went from like a DEADMAU5 sound to like a kind of trancier sound. So hope you guys like this little demonstration I did afterwards. Tell me if you think these kind of things are helpful. I showed you guys a sound, and then I tried to explore some possibilities with you guys. So tell me if you guys like me to do that, and I'll start doing that more, like exploring possibilities of the sound towards the end of the video. If you guys like that, let me know. So thanks for watching.